Krish, what are you seeing in terms of the fear factor now rippling through immigrant and refugee communities right now because of the reality that these operations are not just picking up criminals?
That fear factor, the chilling effect, is obviously very real. I think for so many of the families that we've heard from, they do worry in light of the fact that some of the application has been wielded more like a sledgehammer than a scalpel. I think we also are concerned about the fact that, while the focus has been on unauthorized migration, what we've seen from the White House in terms of the executive orders, it also really intends to dismantle existing legal immigration systems. And so the impact on our clients is rather massive. So far we've seen the White House suspend the refugee resettlement program. They shut down the app by which you could schedule an appointment in order to present your case. They shut down the humanitarian parole program that allowed Americans to sponsor their loved ones. And so this isn't just impacting, the immigrant community. It's impacting Americans as well.
One of the things you touched on was one of the first Trump administration moves we've seen, which was to suspend the asylum claims at the border. And so it sort of left migrants stranded in Mexico. Feels sort of like an out of sight, out of mind solution for the U.S. Give us a sense of what that asylum suspension means.
The real impact is that when people seek safety and opportunity, they come to the U.S. When you cut the very few pathways that exist in our deeply outdated immigration system, what it means is that the options available to desperate families become smaller and smaller. And what I fear is that means that the most extremely desperate will end up paying their life savings to cartel smugglers. And that's how U.S. immigration policy and how we implement it could end up pushing people towards exploitation and ultimately line the pockets of the very transnational criminal organizations we're trying to fight.
And we only have about 30 seconds, but I do want to get your take, too, on the refugee issue, because thousands of refugee flights to the U.S. were canceled, including those of Afghan special immigrant visa holders. You hear from immigration hawks like Trump that potential terrorists could slip through the cracks with these programs. What's your response to that?
I think it's incredibly important to understand refugee resettlement is the gold standard of a legal immigration pathway. These are families, individuals who have gone through CIA, Department of Homeland Security, FBI, Interpol checks. They wait years abroad as they apply through the UN or the U.S. Embassy. They are extremely vetted, and only when they get the clearance do they come to the U.S. It's why this program has always had bipartisan support. It is always why our national security officials strongly support keeping our promise to our Afghan allies. And so it's incredibly disappointing to see the refugee resettlement and the special immigrant visa programs that help our Afghan allies suspended.
Krish Vignarajah, thank you very much for your insights and your perspective on this.